Welcome to the centre of Moscow. As you can see in the background, the Kremlin, Red Square is off in the distance. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to get from Vnukovo Airport to the centre of Moscow for less than $1, 75 rubles to be exact. But in order for me to show you, we're going to have to start at Vnukovo Airport. I'll see you there. Welcome to Vnukovo Airport in the southwest of Moscow. Now, Vnukovo Airport is one of the 4 main airports that you'll probably fly into if you arrive here internationally. And what I want to show you today is the most cost-effective way to get from Vnukovo Airport when you arrive into the centre of Moscow. Let's go. Hey guys, just before we do that, I've spotted a chocolate Nitsa, so we're going to go in here, we're going to get a coffee, something to eat, then we're going to start our journey to the centre of Moscow. Alright guys, while we're in chocolate Nitsa, I'll just show you this. This is a chain of cafes throughout Moscow, maybe throughout Russia, I'm not sure, but it's pretty good because you order everything on this tablet. It's pretty good if you don't fancy, even though he says just change it to English, at least you've got photographs. So I fancy a zavtrak, which means breakfast. Turkey, Indika, and let's skip that. Try to cut down on the coffee, so let's get a flat white. There we go, flat white. And we should be good. Confirm the order. Alright, so this thing goes blue here, and then that means our order has been taken successfully. And we didn't need to speak to anyone. Not that I'm against speaking to people, but if you've just arrived and you want something to eat and you don't speak the language, it's quite a good option. Guys, while we're waiting for the food and the coffee to arrive, could you please do me a favour, hit subscribe. It helps YouTube push the videos to more people, so more people can see my content, and it means I'll make more videos for you about life in Moscow more regularly. Hit subscribe. Alright guys, we got the flat white. And we got some kind of egg on toast with turkey. Came to about 1,000 rubles, which is about £8, which I think is pretty... It's alright for the airport, isn't it? Okay, let's tuck in. Hey guys, just while we're here, check out some of the places that you can fly to. We've got, I can see up there, Istanbul, St. Petersburg, Antalya in Turkey. Now, of course, the amount of places you can fly to directly out of Russia are dramatically reduced over the last few years. So, a lot of the destinations are in Russia, but we do have Turkey as one of the main international destinations. So if you're flying in from internationally from the UK, one of the most popular ways is to fly in through Turkey, Istanbul and Antalya being 2 of the airports. Vnukovo Airport is one of the 4 main airports in Moscow, the others being Domodedovo, Sheremetyevo and Zhukovsky. Vnukovo is actually the oldest airport in Moscow. It predates to before World War II, and after that war the airport became open to passengers. In 2019 it handled over 24 million passengers, and in 2021 it was the 11th most busy airport in the whole of Europe. Now of course flights have reduced somewhat since then, but you can still fly in here internationally, most namely from Turkey. Right guys, so we're actually in the departures, which is upstairs. So to make this completely authentic, to start our journey, let's go downstairs as if we've came out of international arrivals, and I'm going to show you the exact route I would take to the centre. Alright guys, you've came out of international arrivals, you want to get to your hotel in the centre of Moscow. Now, we've got cars and stuff here, of course you can take a taxi, but I'm a Scottish guy in Moscow, I don't want to take a taxi, I want to take the metro, and I want to show you guys how to take the metro as well. So, first things we're going to do is going to walk through international arrivals, and we're going to look for a big red M. Okay, the big red M means metro, and I've only been walking for a minute or so, and I can see one here. Have a look. It's in English as well. Metro station. That's where we're going. Alright guys, so you can see you can go stay at the Doubletree Hilton, get the metro or some different public transport options. Alright, so we've been walking along, you can see you can go straight on to K-Cup bus, but we're going to go in here onto the orange line and take the metro. Alright guys, so you're going to see this machine. Now I've got a Troika card, so this is going to be included in the price of the Troika, but for the video I'm going to buy a ticket. So we want to take one train journey, Poezda, Adin Poezda. 75 rubles. Now, again, a problem you might face is this machine is not going to take your bank card, so you're going to have to pay in cash unless you've got a Russian card. But if you've got a Russian card, then you probably know more than me about being here. Your ticket's going to drop down here. Bilet means ticket. Alright, so your tickets came down. We bought a ticket for only one journey, but that's all we need. It was 75 rubles. Alright guys, we are through the barrier. Now we're going to have to change to get to the centre, but we only pay once. And that came to a grand total of 75 rubles. I will put the conversion for dollars, euros and pounds, but that's it. That's all we are going to pay to get to the centre. Alright guys, here we go. Here is the map of the Moscow Metro. Now, we are starting our journey all the way down here at the end of the yellow line at Airport Vnukovo, or Vnukovo Airport in English. We are going to go to Ahokny Riyadh, which is in the centre. So we're going to be travelling all the way up here. Once we get to Park Pobedi, we're going to change to the dark blue line and we're going to go across. And we're going to finish our journey at Ahokny Riyadh, and I'll take you out to the Red Square. Although the Red Square might be closed just now because it's coming up to Victory Day, the 80th anniversary, but I'll take you out anyway.
Осторожно. Двери закрываются. Следующая станция.
Alright guys, the journey to the centre has started, but we're going on a side quest because we're only going to be going for one stop, and then I'm going to jump off at Oktina because I want to show you something. Now I've shown you in previous videos, but maybe you didn't see that video, so I want to take you there. We'll get off, I'll show you something special, then we'll get back on. Alright guys, we're at Postina station. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, I find it difficult to say that one. But if you're coming from Vnukovo Airport, I would urge you to get off at this station. As we can see, beautiful clean modern station, and if you're coming from the airport, come out of the train, turn right, and you're going to walk straight on. And the reason I brought you here guys is because on the escalator of this station we have the scale model of the Tupolev Tu-144 aeroplane, which was actually the first ever supersonic aeroplane in the world. It came into use 2 months before the Concorde, and I think we should go up that escalator and have a look. Yeah guys, check it out. I think it's definitely worth coming having a look if it's your first time in Moscow. But the reason that we're here is to find the metro route on the way from Vnukovo Airport to the centre of Moscow. So what we need to do is jump back on the metro and head along the yellow line, northbound. Now the good thing is that if you do get off the metro to do a side quest, there will be another train in a few minutes. Once you're towards the centre, a train will come every minute to 2 minutes. Because we're so far out, this one's going to be 3 minutes, but still not a problem. That side's going to the airport. Alright guys, let's get back on after a side quest. Now one thing I have noticed is that this metro to the airport is one of the older trains that's provided. So this isn't a reflection of the most modern that I get on my line, the orange line, or throughout the city, but it's still pretty good. Before it gets noisy again, we are going to go all the way up here to Park Pobedi, and we're going to change onto the dark blue line. Alright guys, we're almost at Park Pobedi, but I think it's time for another side quest. We're going to get off for a second at Miceriński Prospect, because I want to show you this station. Let's go. Now guys, we're on our second side quest of this journey. We've came upstairs from the yellow line to the big circle line. Miceriński Prospect on the big circle line is one of my favourite stations. It's noisy, but it is a joint venture between Chinese and Russian companies, and I want to show you some of the architecture. It was opened in 2021. Our second side quest, we've got to get to the centre of Moscow. Let's go back downstairs, jump onto the yellow line and continue with our journey. Alright guys, we've made it to Park Pobedi station, which means Victory Park. Now, this is actually the deepest station in the whole of Moscow. It actually looks pretty good, so when the people clear out, I'm going to give you a clear shot. And then I think there's time for one more side quest before we jump onto the dark blue line, straight through to our final destination of Ahokli Riyadh in the centre of Moscow. Says here electric train driver. I think I'm reading it correct. Was this the uniform of the train driver? We've got a female uniform here. This one here is like station attendant. Check it out. And what do we have over here? And this one is like technician. Now guys, of course we're about to jump on the dark blue line to our final destination, but look at this beautiful station actually. Check that out, look at that floor. But we're at Park Pobedi, which means Victory Park, named after the victory in World War II, the Great War. The Soviet Union contributed so much, along with the other allies of Great Britain, America and other countries. But in a few days time it's going to be the 9th of May, which is Victory Day here in Moscow, and I think as we're at Victory Park, just before we jump on the dark blue line, let's go for one more side quest. Let's jump upstairs out and see what we can see outside Victory Park in Moscow. Now remember, here at Victory Park, Park Pobedi station, it is the deepest station in the whole of Moscow. So as you can see, the escalator goes on for a while. The 9th of May is Victory Day here in Russia, and it is exactly 80 years since the end of that conflict, and the whole city is decorated with flags, and just across here is Park Pobedi. Now of course I'm trying to tell you how to get from Vnukovo Airport to the centre, so if you do come up here you would need to buy another ticket to enter the metro station again, but I just thought it'd be interesting to come up here. Off in the distance there, it looks like a stage has been set up. There's going to be a huge procession here on the 9th, which is Friday of this week. I'm not going to be in Moscow, I'm going to be somewhere else, but somewhere else that I'm going to be will also have a procession. Now guys, we're not going to go all the way into Park Pobedi today because this was merely a side quest. I wanted to come up to ground level to show you what was here. We got to get back down, we got to get to the centre of Moscow to finish this video onto the dark blue line. Let's go. Alright guys, we're back down to where we got off the yellow line. All we need to do is come off of where we exited the yellow line, and we're going to walk straight across. We just missed this one, we'll get the next one, and jump on the dark blue line to Ploshchad Revolution Square. Now, Revolution Square is connected to Hockney Riyadh, which I'm deeming for this video to be the centre. See it there, Ploshchad Revolution. Now you probably can't see on there, but it shows you the direction in which the train's going to travel in. What you don't want to do is get on the correct coloured line but in the wrong direction, because you're going to end up even further away from where you started. So there should be another train arriving any moment now. Guys, we have arrived at Ploshchad Revolution Square on the dark blue line. It's also connected to Hockney Riyadh, which I have deemed to be the centre. When we come out of this station, we should be at the red square. Now guys, when you exit the metro, all you need to do is walk up to it and it will open. There's nothing else you need to do. Alright guys, there you go, we are in the very centre of Moscow. We got on the metro at Vnukovo Airport and we paid 75 rubles for the ticket. 75 rubles is 69 pence and 93 cents American. Now of course, maybe you're not coming straight to the centre, you've got a hotel somewhere else, but all you're going to do is use the app that I showed you, and you're going to put in Vnukovo Airport on the yellow line, and then you're going to type in, and you can do it in English, you're going to type in the metro station that's closest to your hotel, and it's going to cost you exactly the same. Now guys, you can just see the Kremlin in the distance. Unfortunately, because of the 9th of May Victory Day parade, it's getting all set up for that. The red square is indeed closed, so I can't take you right in, but I can vouch that we're right next to it. So that is how you get from Vnukovo Airport to the centre of Moscow for less than $1.